Well. What do we have here? We have a Monday day after turned into an emergency call-in show with everything on fire. Because everything is on fire because we're gonna overreact. No, I'm just kidding. There's not really overreaction. It's just let's get real.
I want
Yesterday,
to watch you guys overreact.
yeah. Yesterday sucked butt cheeks. Like the bootiest of butt cheeks. And yeah. If there's someone that hasn't seen the game yet, don't. It's not good for your health.
I didn't
Especially the first
rewatch it.
person.
I'll be honest, I didn't rewatch it. I caught like little bits and pieces, and I saw the last few minutes of it. Caught them awkwardly as I was hanging out with my nephew, who didn't really care. I was wondering why I was yelling at things. So yeah, yeah, we left you alone. Family, man, like things happened. Things happened. What can we say? We're sore, but we're still here. We're still here. We did F1, so if you caught that, German Dave co-hosted with me. It was excellent. My mom, I just talked to my mom on the phone. My mom likes you, Dave. What can I say?
She likes the schnitzel.
Yeah. So you want one of the ladies over.
She wants the schnitzel. She like it very good. Man, I really don't know. Like, how do we break this down? Like, Dusan being Dusan, Chiesa finally showing up for work, and for the love of God, people could like that penalty follow up. I was just like, oh,
so bad. So bad.
It was like
rookie mistake.
It was because like I'm not even mad at Nonger. I'm more mad at Allegri. What the hell are you subbing him in for?
Yeah,
should
he? What's up with Danilo? Right, like that's the question. What's up with Danilo?
Well, I just don't understand the logic behind like, hey, let me put in Nonger versus let me play Danilo as a phantom defensive midfielder / auxiliary center back, and then because I was saying this on Discord, I was like, why didn't he do that instead? You put in Nonger. Like, I know we were still kind of chasing the game at that point, but like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things you can really nitpick about it. A lot of things seem to have broken down, and it was like one of those sums of all of its parts.
It was. That was one of those games that Napoli were giving to you, and you didn't want to take it.
Yeah.
Like that's how it was. Like Napoli were dead ass. Like, hey,
they're not a good team.
We're not going to win this game. Find a way to win it. And Juve's like, no, thank you, sir. I'm giving it back to you.
And what I'm going to give to you guys is the link because it is an emergency call-in show, so we shouldn't really wait. It's there. I want to hear because let's be honest. If I watch it after the fact, the bits and pieces that I caught, Dash had his own things he had to deal with as well. You guys really suffered through it, and that's who I want to hear. That's who I want to connect to. The people whose souls were truly ripped out of their chest. So, please feel free and just let it all out tonight because that's what we're doing. This is going to be a therapy session. Yeah.
But like, so I watched it in its entirety, and it's like that was one of the games that we could have gone in there and won like 3-4-0. Like that's what I'm like.
It's a bad one.
Here's the thing. That game could have happened to any team besides Napoli. Like that's like out of all the teams that we got shithoused by, it's flipping Napoli. That's where I'm so frustrated because I had to see fucking De Laurentiis just bouncing on his feet like
that guy's such a
like that's what irritates me. Shit, if Genoa did it to us, if it was Genoa, Udinese, or Udinese already did that to us. If it was like some other Serie A team besides Inter and Napoli, I would be less pissed off than I am now. But it was Napoli of all teams. Now they're gonna go in, make a documentary. They're gonna be like, "Hey, this is how Juventus fumbled the bag and we beat them." Like that's I can see it right now. A De Laurentiis production. And then now they're gonna go in and watch their argument in court for the Club World Cup. They'll say, "We should house Juventus for a win. We should be in the Club World Cup." All right, Napoli, let me make this straight. You and your calzone named ass coach. You guys want to do some stupid lawsuits against us to get us out of the Club World Cup? Why don't you guys go beat a piss poor Barcelona? Do this shit again against Barcelona. Then we'll take you a little bit seriously.
Yeah, just get good. I love how you have everyone just comes in with like, I would, but I'm sick. I would, but I'm driving. I would, but I got some cheap ass excuse. Whatever, guys. Have faith. This one hurts. Yeah, it hurts. How much does it hurt though? I want you to show me with your mouth how much it hurts. KB, yeah. Oh, Bones, we got a Bones.
Oh,
we got
a Bones.
There we go. He's in the shadows, but we got him. How's it going?
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I was going. Oh, let me turn on this light. I forgot. I'm all right.
So
yeah.
How are you
like
feeling?
I was saying in the comments, I didn't even think the team played that bad.
No, that's what pisses me off.
It's just, yeah, exactly. It's just dumb shit. It's like we fell asleep off that rebound, and then Dusan, even though he's been informed, like just put something in the net, buddy.
Yeah.
Somebody missed a rub and tug.
Yeah. He missed a sesh.
Yeah.
Vanya was like, Dusan, I need you to come back here. And he was like, I can't. I got to get to the game. And he should have went.
German Dave, welcome in.
Hello. Hope you're all well, guys.
Yes, you as well. Late night there over in Germany.
Yeah, I'm doing my evening walk.
Oh, nice.
The camera's off. It's a bit dark right now, but yeah, I'm here.
German Dave was so pissed off. He's like, fucking Chiesa actually played well. He's like, I don't even know.
Dude, he was our most effective offensive player yesterday.
Yeah. It's wild. Like, just nothing can fall.
Yeah, I was even thinking Illing was playing great. I thought Illing was playing good too. Like, I felt like honestly, like I said, like I feel like everyone was playing decent.
And even the commentators
fumbled the bag.
The commentators were actually complimenting us on how well we were taking the game to people. And then it just fell apart. We couldn't put it together. We got nobody to blame but ourselves.
It's like Crevara's goal was a shithouse goal. It clips Cambiaso's ankle and goes in, and then it's just like, okay, we're just gonna like everybody, because it happened right before halftime, and our team was literally just like, wait, was this part of the script? Huh? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know, man. Like, for me, it's so frustrating. Can I have a game that both Chiesa and Dusan are playing well? Like,
never.
Is that all is like, that's something I want it. Is that something that I can't have? Like, I just
cannot be. No, you can't have that.
Chiesa said not with the amount he's getting paid. He need to double it, or it's one or the other.
So LJJ saying the only player I was expecting more was Alcaraz.
Oh, he was a turnover machine.
What do we expect from Alcaraz? I think we have to establish what it is we expect from him first before we start making judgments.
Like, I think Vlad made this comment, and Vlad, if you didn't, just correct me here, but he's essentially an Argentinian Meretti. Like that, I died laughing. He's like, you got everything from Charlie that Meretti was already giving to you: turnovers, bad plays, and second phase build up.
But even less defense.
Yeah, less defense.
Yeah, interesting. It's who we have to use.
I don't blame him though. He's still new to the squad.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He did not look ready at all.
Just fish out of water.
Well, because so looking at it from a tactical perspective, right? He's so used to time and space in the Prem where he can take a little bit of a longer stride, a little bit of a longer. I know.
It's EFL.
It's baby Prem. And then it's like you come into Serie A and he's like, oh shit, I don't have as much time and space as I normally would. And that's where he was just, heavy touches, heavy strides. Like there was a pass that Chiesa teed off for him, and then he just like takes a Dusan-esque touch or doesn't even shoot it. It's just it was just like Juve, to me, like especially the first 35, 36 minutes, Juve were playing with their food. Like extremely playing with their food.
Yeah.
Like you got your finger in the mashed potatoes.
Like it was just like, yeah, let me just play with this. And then the Kvara goal happened, and then they're just kind of like, whoa. And then we equalize, and then Nonger just like has a brain fart and does like a pickup tackle that you see in a pickup game. Like that's one of the tackles you see someone just get ready to throw hands for, and then he's just like, huh? It was, and then like the penalty itself, like I don't understand. And Bremer played a good game, but this is where I think Bremer made a mistake, or somebody on that back line made a mistake. You have 4 Napoli players 5 yards behind you. They're getting ready to sprint to the box because they know Victor Osimhen is not the best PK taker. Napoli this season have had issues taking penalties. So what they do to compensate is they crash the box. There wasn't a single Juve player that would have, hell, if you stood in front of one of those Napoli players running and they trucked you from behind, you would have won a defensive foul. Like you would have won a foul, but none of them, they're just kind of like, huh? Oh shit, Napoli's running right by us.
Like, at least they would have boxed out the penalty area. Like at this point, it was just like offensive rebound in the NBA after free throws. It's just not acceptable to have that like lack of energy, lack of awareness.
It was so bad. Like it was so bad. Like it's almost like Chiesa took the energy of the entire roster just for him to do well. And then speaking of Fede Chiesa, when he went to the right wing, he scored that. When he was playing the left side the entire game, he wasn't playing well at all. So can we put the left wing
he was playing
to rest?
Yeah, but do you know why? The problem is,
I would say he did play better on the right.
If he goes on the left side all the time, he's just a one-trick pony, cutting in with the right, trying to beat a guy 1v1. And if he goes over the right side, he has the right foot to assist, to give, to pass those long balls, to assist, and to shoot with the right even. And he's becoming more versatile, but he's not seeing that.
Yeah, and that's what I find frustrating, right? Because like,
I mean, the
pass, right? Go ahead, Bones.
Yeah, I was gonna say that cross to Dusan was beautiful, man. It was
from
perfect.
The right side. It was on the right side.
Yeah.
It's just like someone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing.
I don't know if it's a therapist or something that needs to sit Chiesa down and say, "What are you?" And every time that Chiesa says a left winger, he just slaps the shit out of him.
Oh man, like Pavlov's dog. You just give him shock therapy.
So, question: are you scared that we lose the top 4 by March? No,
I'm not scared. Didn't you see the thumbnail? It's fine. It's okay, guys.
At this point, I don't know how this team will perform week to week. The problem is this one was our best offensive performance of the season, I think.
Yes.
Like just from the pure attacking sense, how we created spaces, how even Dusan, Chiesa, everybody got into the right spaces, but nobody was able to finish except that beauty of a goal by Chiesa.
Yeah, correct, and for sure, right? Like when, and this is the I want to say the devil of pragmatic style of play, right? So on paper, Napoli actually, expected goals created more than we did, but at the end of the day, Juve had 4 clear-cut chances to put in the net, and they didn't take them. Even though, like, for example, Napoli was at a 2.11, Juve were at a 1.66. And I think because their Raspadori goal was like practically an expected goal of 0.9, so that number's a little bit inflated. However, that's the same kind of stuff. Like today, what you saw Juve in the first half, how they played, is the same exact way that Thiago Motta would go at this game from a pragmatic approach.
Yeah, that's funny you should mention that because there was just a drop as well. Let's look that up. Who dropped that? that Thiago Motta.
Calcio Mercado, I think.
Okay, so I mean, nothing crazy, but the names keep on coming. Thiago Motta, he's the next man up. I don't know. Like, I just don't know yet.
Look, I mean, there's nothing. We're not going to know anything until the end of the season. I just find it really ironic and hypocritical, right? Where people are like, "Oh, I want this guy. And everyone's like, "He's the same thing as Allegri, very pragmatic, just a little bit more modern in a pragmatic sense." But he's winning, and then you're like, "Wait, do you want it because of style, or do you want it because of results? Because you've been arguing for style for the last 2-3 years. Now you're going with a coach that's getting results. You know."
Oh, this was it. Sorry, Misak posted it this morning from Santi Ayuna. Thiago Motta is now the absolute top candidate of Juve to replace Allegri at the end of the season. The Italian manager is open for the job, but remain 100% focused on Bologna for the moment. So it's just more sources sort of pointing in that direction. We'll see. I don't think anyone. It's too early. It's just really is too early. We're still in it. Technically, not first. I don't think we're getting first. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think today we metaphorically threw whatever sliver of hope you had for the title. It's gone. It's done.
No, it is gone. But we move on. You know, we move on week by week. Keep on doing it.
It's all clever plans too, so we can only focus on top 4.
Yeah,
that was the goal. I guess now we're in the position we are now, looking into it. Like, that's not unrealistic. The top 4 goal, it was realistic.
You know, it was interesting. My dad and I were having a conversation after the game because he watched it, and then I watched it, and him and I were talking about it, and he was like, out of all the top 4 teams in Serie A right now, he's like, Juve are, as far as like player personnel wise, outside of 1 or 2 players, Juve have the worst squad composition compared to the rest. I'm just like, I can't counter argue that.
It's just slapped together over years of mismanagement. Now we're trying to actually get somewhere.
It's like, because you look at, like, for example, you look at Milan, even though, you know, there are wild cards as well, but I think Milan has a better squad balance composition than we do.
Well, they have been working. It's that consistency, right? We have not had that consistency.
Atalanta as well. You can throw Bologna into the mix.
Sure.
In theory, because of Mourinho, maybe you can throw in Roma as well. Because, like, for example, Pellegrini is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, with De Rossi, he's just been insane. And I mean, even so, like, the Roma team is properly built with players that know how to distribute the ball, move possession, do etc. Where it's like, for us, it's like, I look at it and I look at our midfield, and it's almost like we're in the bottom half of the table with how our midfield plays. Like it's games, you keep seeing it, and it's just a recurring thing. Yeah, you can throw Dusan under the bus, right? Like, it's fair. He had 3 to 4 just absolute horrific misses. But it's just like, I don't know at this point. It's just like, how much can our defense and how much can our forwards cover for our terrible midfield?
Well, we, as much as they have so far, enough to kind of hold on.
I completely agree with Dash also there. I think if I would make the decision, I would keep Max definitely for another season. Give the management the whole mercato, and fill all the roster spots. We need every position double and some even triple covered anyway. So give him another shot, I think.
Hefe, what's up?
Nothing much, dude. Nothing much. I don't know what to say about that game. I think I got cancer from watching that game.
Is your forehead okay? It looks like you smashed your forehead against the wall a couple of times.
Probably did. Yeah, that's definitely the case. Yeah, bro. Like, fucking punched the TV, broke a remote control, ordered one on Amazon. Nah, I'm just kidding. But it was a pretty bad game regardless. Like, I don't know what the fuck did I just watch.
No, and LJJ is correct here, right? By playing youngsters, we should not expect to be on top of the table. Tell that to Jay Twitter. Look, with Paul and Fagioli on the roster, it would have been a different, it's a different conversation. Like, we would have been having a different conversation at this point. And it's like the moment we lost those two, yes, we hit like a great patch of form. It's just unfortunately they just couldn't keep it. But I really think I just for me, I think the first critical piece to the puzzle is a proper playing Regista. I think if you're able to get a proper conductor, and to me, Locatelli is a great player, but I think Locatelli is more of a creative 8 more than he is a 5.
Yeah, we've all been saying that.
Yeah, and it's like, for example, everybody keeps thinking it's different, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, he's more of a box to box. I don't think he's a box to box. I just think he's more of a creative midfielder with decent defensibility or defensible. I can't even
He's
talk.
gotten better at it, though.
Attributes.
He has gotten a little better.
It's like it's interesting, right? Because he has essentially the capabilities of a mezzala with a libero at the same time. It's like you take two traits and you mash them together. Because, like, for example, if you wanted Locatelli to play as a libero, he could play as a libero, which is just straight defensive brute as far as like just a bull, a defensive bull. He has the mezzala. He has the ability to move forward and adjust and create forward. Do I think his playmaking is elite? No, I think it's average. I think it's okay, but I think it's if he was partnered, and I keep ringing this horn, and I really do think if you were to add Jorginho to this team, and you had a midfield trio of Rabiot, Locatelli, and Jorginho, I really think the season would have been a little bit differently.
Yeah, so Jorginho comes up. He's becoming a theme here.
I think it's just us. I don't think anyone else has talked about
Well,
it.
yes, that's what I'm saying. We're making it a thing.
No, he's also just the best example. He has the seniority. He already played in Serie A, and he's putting it on display right now with Arsenal. They just destroyed Sheffield 6-0 a few minutes ago, and again he played an incredible game. His defensive capabilities are really good. He reads the field very well. And his passing is actually incredible, and I think even improved since he left Chelsea.
Yeah, and I think he's perfect for Serie A because, for example, he's 32 right now. You can get 3 years out of Jorginho without an issue. That'll give you time to let, if Berenaceo is your guy, it'll give you time to let him develop, get the minutes, and get the experience that he needs. Because to play in an effective, either it's Thiago Motta or even Allegri, any pragmatic coach, that Regista needs to be your oldest midfielder. They need to be your more experienced player to understand how the game develops, understand how the game flows, understand how it moves. Because Locatelli's still young, guys. Like viewers and listeners, like he's young still. Like there's still more to his IQ that grows. Having that in there in Serie A with a slower pace, I think it's better. And I mean, that's why, like, for example, they were trying the idea of putting Pogba in that role because it would have been less strain on his legs. He would have been able to read the game. The way that Pogba creates and orchestrates is good too. So I really would think if Giuntoli's not looking at Jorginho, and especially with the Napoli connection with Jorginho and Giuntoli, I would be a little bit shocked.
So Antonio's saying, guys think Rabiot will stay even if Max leaves. I'm going to say hard no. Hard no.
No. I was thinking, I think you were
honestly,
you were very spot on the fact that Jorginho, we need somebody with experience that has a lot of footballing IQ, that is able to read the game offensively and defensively. So I think Jorginho or a Toni Kroos would be fine.
Or Toni Kroos, just throw that in there.
Yeah,
why not?
I was going to say
though. Sorry.
Go ahead, Bones.
I was just gonna say if we get Jorginho, I feel like we'll be all right if Rabiot leaves. Like if we can move Locatelli up, with next to McKennie or whatever. But I don't know. I've never been too married to Rabiot anymore. Like, well, I liked him at the beginning, but I think he does a lot. But I still feel like we can improve that spot.
I think Vlad. I think Jorginho would be 32 when he comes here next season if he were to come here. That's kind of what I was rolling on.
I think that's a perfect age in the Italian league if you think about it. Even when Pirlo came, he was like 33 or 32. That was the age that he came at Juve on a free transfer. I'm not saying that Jorginho is near Pirlo by no means, but at the same time, it's not as fast paced as the EPL. Like Serie A is not as fast paced, and he's able to move the ball more.
It buys you time. I think that's the main thing. It buys you time because right now there is nothing. We're as much as, like, for example, Fagioli has tangibles, I think Fagioli's still too young for that role. I think, for example, if you ran a midfield trio of Fagioli, Jorginho, and Locatelli, you could probably create something out of that. I'm hypothetically, if Rabiot doesn't come, that's just pause. If he's not here anymore, though, like, for example, a Rabiot, Jorginho, and Locatelli midfield is awesome because that means Rabiot's job would then be to be defensively obstructive and to get any loose balls into the net. That's pretty much what his responsibilities would be. Locatelli would be the guy that's creating at the beginning or at the second phase of the game. He can be subbed out with Moretti or Fagioli or whoever, and then Jorginho would conduct and orchestrate the game from the back. And then, for example, if you're able to then coincide with Danilo and Jorginho being good short passing specialists, you have the opportunity to attack and face teams in multiple directions then.
Yeah. I like that. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jorginho height frame. Get on, everyone. All aboard.
Or if it's not a Jorginho, I think like somebody with a lot of experience to play the regista role, or like I will say it again, somebody that's good with the ball.
Well, we might get Arthur back.
Oh yeah. Totally.
I think that is scorched earth by now.
I think I'd rather play in place of Arthur if that was the case.
Yeah.
So who would sub him? Probably, yeah. Maybe no. I think Hans will probably go out on loan. But if Fagioli isn't starting, so for example, if it's Rabiot, Locatelli, and Jorginho, then I could see Fagioli coming in.
Could, yeah.
And then I think that would be it. But I still think I would agree. You would have to look for an alternative for that position.
Or what you can do is if you're going to sub out Jorginho, you put another Mezzala, and then you just kind of put Locatelli as a regista again for like the last 20 minutes because he's been playing the regista role, so he has some idea of how to play it. I just wouldn't recommend it to play him for, say, over 90 minutes. He could play for 20 minutes and have an idea of what he's doing.
Yeah, obviously, though, the issue would be if Jorginho were to get hurt, then we're just absolutely screwed. But like for me personally, I think Benedicea and Hans both need loans just to keep consistently playing because the regista role is one of the hardest roles to develop in Calcio because you need to be playing at all times to see different defenses, to see different looks, to see different everything. Because, like, for example, I play that role myself, and it's one of those things where the more field time I get, the more packages I see, the more looks I can see. You
like looking at packages, do you? Yeah.
Especially yours. But it has to be one of those roles that you have to be on the field at all times and looking at different setups, different organizations, because that is one of the few positions where IQ is critical to the role.
It seems like what you're saying is like to be one of the best footballing scholars. And that takes a lot of time. It's kind of like, a doctor takes 10 years to become a registered doctor. So it's good because it's a lot of information. So, obviously playing that role to be able to predict, look, and understand either your opponent when your opponent attacks and know where to position and even delegate other players to where.
Thank you, Froze.
Oops. Am I good? Am I good now?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Good now.
Just pretty much kind of have a little bit of a leadership role in the sense where he's able to not only delegate himself or want right positions, but delegate his teammates. And also on the offensive flank, understand the movements of everybody else, whether that's the striker and the wingers, to be able to distribute the ball perfectly or pretty accurately. That's the best explanation I can give. It's an important role because you need to understand every facet of the game, offense and defense, if that just made sense.
Yeah, for sure, man. And like for example, that's one of the positions that you can't really go young on right now. Because like for example, you look at like some of the best registas in the world. I think maybe Rodri is the only one that's like a fair younger one esque. But like you look at it, Chanologu, you look at Tony Cruz, you look at all of these elite playmakers, Jorginho as well. They're all older guys.
I mean, look at what we did when we got Pirlo 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years ago, we got Pirlo. At first, because I didn't know much about the game as much as I know now. I didn't understand the move, but then when he played, it was like wonders. But even with Rodri has like obviously like he has a coach. He has a good coach that has played that position in the past. So it does help to have a coach that has played that position to help Rodri develop as a player. But we don't have that. But point being, yeah, that position is very important.
So Antonio's saying Brescianini. Is he ready though? I don't know. He's a Frosinone player. He probably plays very well for Frosinone, but how does he do the next step up? There's those unanswered questions. He might be. But we don't know. Just like Sule when he comes back to Juve, right? With all the touches he gets at Frosinone, who play very like on the foot, and it's a completely different team, right? So I personally still have a lot of questions about Brescianini. I don't know if you guys have opinions there.
I think as far as younger players, I don't know. I think when you're getting a younger guy, younger players usually making a risk. That's always the case. Sometimes they pop off, sometimes they don't. But with the likes of also Sule coming to Juve again, the pressure is going to be much higher than what it is at Frosinone. Because Frosinone, what is it? Be a mid-table team and don't get relegated.
In these cases, you kind of have to trust the scouts and Gentoli that they know who they're looking at, and they're going to know if Brescianini is something that they need to spend money on or not, right? It's one of those. Yeah, Dash, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I'm good. It's all you, bud.
Yeah, I don't know why I just have this really big feeling that Sule gets sold in the summer.
I have that feeling too, but in the event he doesn't.
Because, like, for example, you look at the numbers and like how many dribbles he gets and the conversion rate from his dribbles and whatnot, and it's like Juve would be dumb not to cash in on it.
We would ruin his value, I think, because his numbers would go
tank
down a lot. Yes. So it's inflated right now. We've artificially inflated his numbers, so why not capitalize on that monetarily?
Because it's
That's not a bad idea. I'll sell him to a Liverpool, Newcastle.
That's what I was thinking, like a Southampton or newly promoted Southampton or something like that, right? Where
or even Aston Villa, they might make it to the Champions League.
Yeah, but those teams won't take a young player like that and just give him a shot. It will be like Dash said, a team that gets promoted into the Premier League. They need outlets on their wings, young players, because like they have all the money in the world, of course, but not the amount of money that the big clubs splash. For example, Liverpool, if Salah would leave, they would need a number one starter immediately. Mm-hmm. They won't bank on Sule or a player like that. They will go for a Leao, for example.
I was gonna say, how much would you think a Sule would be cost? Like, at what valuation would you consider Sule? Like a 45 mil, 40 mil,
35 to 40.
Yeah, I think
personally, my opinion, this would be it. I would only accept nothing less than 40, and if they don't want to buy that, I would just put him out on loan again, and then let him continue to grow.
But it depends on how he finishes the season. Like, there were 30 million offers already in January on the table.
Yeah,
it's just a question on if he can keep his performance level up.
I think he can. I don't think he has the pressure. I don't think he has the pressure that he has at Juventus, and I think the coach, I think it's Di Francesco, I think was it.
Yep.
Is that the coach? Yeah, I think he has a good like to Sule, and every time I watch him at play, he's been doing fairly well. Like he's doing his job. He's been consistent, and he's been scoring quite a bit of goals. So yeah,
And
that's
goals to
very
assist.
good. That's pretty good. That's some good numbers. Not the greatest numbers, but those are solid.
Like the reason why I'm kind of on the sell express in a sense, right, was let's play the best world scenario here. Say that we do switch into a 4-3-3 and you keep Dusan and Chiesa. Sude is not going to touch the ball as much as Chiesa is. Chiesa is going to demand the ball. And then that's going to be essentially he gets less balls, less dribbles, and then like Sule will have his, air quotes, a sophomore slump. Because like, for example, one of the things about Serie A is when you have a breakout season, if you are not cashing in on the individual now, that player is going to drop value unless they are legit a world-class phenomenon. Whereas like for Sule, my concern is that now that everyone's, the hype express, or everyone's like, whoa, look at this kid. If you are going to liquidate him, you have to liquidate him this summer. I think if you keep him for another season, other teams will figure him out, understand how to go up against him, and his value will tank.
Sell him in the value's high.
What
That's
if
basic.
Chiesa leaves though? Yeah.
Chiesa
Well,
leaves,
you're probably
then-
getting a whole bunch of money
What's your
there
opinion
too.
if Chiesa leaves?
Start
Well,
buying.
Here's so like, for example, this might be what people might not like to hear, but like if you were to sell both Chiesa and Sule and you get over 100 million, then you can fully commit to the 352. You would fully commit to the 352 because like I think Carr asked me, who would you sell, cash in and get who? Whoever fits the bill for the 352, where you can properly execute that system and get the proper midfield support that you need for it, get the proper target man. Like for example, if Chiesa gets sold for 60 million, hypothetical, you bet your ass I'm activating that 30 million release clause for Xerxes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Why not?
Because then you would have a Dusan Xerxes, which is in theory kind of similar to a Thuram Lautaro.
I like it. I'm down. This I'm after a game like this weekend. These are the conversations I like to have, like how we're gonna fix things in the future, and then just be
How to
amazing
go improve.
next year.
Oh, I was just gonna buy a billboard and put it on Times Square saying Chiesa out.
I was gonna say,
$40.
or do a clickbait talking about it's a disaster, it's over. That's it. Just say it's done.
Disaster class. Everything's done. Allegri out.
It's what's going on is like they're taking a handbook out of like
Juve's on
all
fire.
the American media, like all the doomsday, all the doomers, and like they just take a handbook out of them and they just like make some of the most insane, outlandish, unhinged shit, and they just bring it up and talk like with no solutions whatsoever.
Yeah, the one thing I need from Gintoli this summer is I need him to make his damn mind. Him and whoever, if it's Allegri or Mota, I need to know, are we forever in the 3-5-2 or are we moving to the back four? Because, like, for example, I'm getting really irritated with having these hybrid players, essentially, that air quotes can play both. Because, like, for example, against Napoli, we played a 4-3-3 for like 10 minutes. We equalized and then, we subbed certain players off and then we switched back to it. So I need to understand here, like, I pick something that we can do and then just run with it and then build the players and build the roster to what you're trying to do. Because I'm not a big fan of this hybrid right now because our players are dumb. Like footballing IQ, they're dumb. Yeah. They have no footy IQ. So when you start complicating the script for them, then things go haywire. So it's like, for example, and this is where, you can argue, right? And you can say certain players aren't world class. Like, for example, if Chiesa needs someone to tell him where to move and what to do, I'm sorry, you're not a world class player. Like, a world class player makes the coach build around you.
Like Ronaldo?
But have you thought it's because I put it on the line? Ever heard about that?
About
Being
what?
sarcastic.
No, you cut out, Bones.
You ever thought of putting kids on the left wing?
Oh. Yeah,
That's
see,
What I was
yes.
thinking, though, I wanted to add up to what Dash was saying was I want to add one extra thing is that if you are a world-class player, not only either, teams are going to play around you or you, the individual yourself, have to be good at adapting as well. You have to be good at adapting to your surroundings. So, if you are a world-class player at the same time, say you're playing for a Chelsea, an Arsenal, or a Man U, and you're supposedly
Forget Chelsea there.
especially if you're in Chelsea, like in the past 10, 15 years, they've been switching coaches and coaches. So, like, obviously, new coach, new ideology, that means you have to adapt to the surroundings as well. Like, Drogba had, like, so many different coaches, and he had to adapt to a different coaching environment. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, yeah, you can have players play around you now if you're Ronaldo and a Messi, but at the same time, I think like 98% of the players are not even at those two level, so they have to like be able to adapt to whatever idea and coaching philosophy that comes forth. So you have to be adapting to new ideas.
But it's also not just the technical ability, or it's not just the case of the player being a world-class caliber player. It is just also in the heart. It's hustle. Like, look at a guy like McKennie. He's not the best passer. He's not the best dribbler or anything of that. But he was willing to take a role that we didn't know will fit him, and he made it his own. Like, he played how many games on right wing back and switched back and forth to midfield and built that triangle with Cambiaso and Weah.
Yeah. No, 100%. And because I want to give some credit to Vlad, because Vlad did a lot of homework on this, but I kind of wanted you guys to show you something. So Kylian Mbappe and Federico Chiesa. Because Kylian Mbappe is like a inverting center forward, and Chiesa is the same position. They basically play the same position. And I do not want to hear any more of this left wing shenaniganry for Chiesa, because look, so let's look at Kylian Mbappe, Exhibit A. So Mbappe, look at his heat map. Exactly what you would expect out of a inverting center forward. So he's holding this area, he's holding it down right there. That's his heat map. So then when I switch to Chiesa, who's, again, people keep saying he's not tactically allowed to play on the left side of the field. Look at Chiesa's heat map. It is that entire left touchline. So if I'm looking at this as a coach, trying to understand this tactically, dude, Chiesa's effing my other center forward by isolating him. Guys, is this a center forward or a left winger to you? Like, am I nuts here?
He's playing left wing, essentially.
Dash, if you talk about left wingers, who's the most pure left winger you can think about? Wouldn't it be Vinicius Junior?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and that guy moved to left centrist striker. He's not playing as a left winger right now because they don't have a striker, so to say. And he is even playing more centrally now.
I just, like, for example, I don't understand the catering and the babying. He played great against Napoli. Don't get me wrong. Chiesa was phenomenal.
I hope he materializes it like on the next game too.
But you have to move him to the right.
Yeah, I hope he understands. Hey, Dusan, play on the left side of the field, and I'll play on the right, and I'll give you good passes all the damn time. Chiesa's not, like, for example, even if you look at how he dribbles, like, for example, the way that he was dribbling against the Napoli players on the left side of the field, Chiesa just puts the ball in the space and tries to run past you. He has no finesse. Vinny has finesse. Leao has finesse.
He reminds me of a Sunday league player. Just put your head down and dribble as many players as possible. Don't pick your head up. Don't look at your freaking space, and then like loses the ball and then gets pissed.
Exactly.
It's like literally, no, I know he's got the talent. I'm not going to say he doesn't have the potential or any of that shit. I just think like at the end of the day, it's like the way he plays, he's got no IQ. That's it.
Well, and
he's not the talent.
Yeah.
If you
The problem is like he's not getting any younger, and he hasn't learned from this.
Do you think he's too smart to play football?
Absolutely.
Like book smart? He's too book smart to play football? Because he went to that international school. He's like he's a prep school kid. And we all know, like, the best strikers in the world are
That
dumb, like Harry Kane.
explains everything. No.
Nah. I don't think it is about being book smart. You just got to get used to the freaking habits. Like, you got to pick your head up. You can't be dribbling. He tries to take on four. I saw a scenario in the game where he was taking 4 players on, where he could have passed it back to like Cambiasso, the wing backs. Like, he was like, okay, I can't handle this. There's too many players. Let me give it back to him and he can cross. He was like trying to go through, like forcing it. He was just forcing the ball unnecessary.
Yeah.
So I didn't really see the point in that.
Well, I think I think the reason why he did really, really well on that right side is because when you put your head down, when you're dribbling forward, you're going to see outside the left side of your peripheral, which is the entirety of the field. So with Chiesa, I wouldn't put him as an inverting winger. The only reason why everyone was entertaining the idea of that left wing was because of Di Maria coming to the squad last season. That's the only reason why that was being entertained, because everyone's like, well, shit, Di Maria is the de facto right winger, so then I guess we throw Chiesa on the left, which was just Chiesa. Even at Fiorentina, Chiesa's best performances were not when he was on the left. It was when he was on the right.
Nobody's
Just gotta
happy
keep him on the
with
right.
Chiesa. Keep him on the right. Keep him in the center. He's gonna. If you put him back on the right, though,
Yeah.
the question is, what does he do? What does he do then?
Provide. No,
Or does
seriously,
he?
provide.
Okay, what does he actually do? What in reality?
Take space and be able to provide proper crosses to do so.
Okay, that's the ideal. But like, if you just threw him on the right wing today,
Not get in the way.
just stay over there.
You want
Because, for example, if
you
you're
won't,
able
you won't
to
get in the way.
tactically, if you're to put Chiesa on the right, then you can move Cambiasso to the left, and then you would have McKennie cover Chiesa's defensive mishaps, essentially, right? So then you would be, in theory, you would be more balanced.
Yeah,
But
especially because McKennie,
can't do
like,
that.
he has an engine. He can defend for a while.
Go ahead, German Dave.
But you can't do that, for example, if Gatti returns to the right, because he can't cover for, like, McKennie is the player that moves forward a bit as well. And if you have Chiesa on the right side and not covering anything, basically, you have to shore up the right side somehow.
Well, I think you would run, at this point, I think you would run McKennie as the right midfielder, and then you'd have Weah behind. But at this point, like, I'm kind of done with the Gatti train. Like, I'm sorry, Frankie, but like at this point, I'd rather just run Danilo, Bremer, and Rugani.
Fair. I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, I think Rugani has proven himself to make less mistakes every time he's played, or majority of the times he's played. He hasn't been perfect, but I think he has made less mistakes than Gatti.
Yeah, hell, I don't know, like me and people might gasp, but shoot, you play Sandro on the left at that point if you have Cambiasso there. Like, you can play Sandro there. You can afford to play him there, but I'm not saying give Sandro an extension. That's nuts, but you have Giallo as well. To answer Antonio's question, what's your take on why Chiesa was successful for Pirlo? 2 reasons. 1, Cristiano Ronaldo, and 2, he played on the right side. So Ronaldo occupied the left, which occupied most of the focus. He had Alvaro Morata, who was scoring out of his mind that season as well, in the middle, with Paulo Dybala as well in the mix. So that opened up Chiesa as a right midfielder to come in and get loose balls and to just really cause havoc, per se, because Chiesa wasn't the main man for that Juve team. And that's why he was able to really flourish, because when you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you always get the attention on you, and not Chiesa, unfortunately, for him at the time. Same thing with the Euro as well. Like, Chiesa wasn't, everyone was focused on Immobile, because Immobile, as much as he sucks for Italy, Immobile coming into the Euro was one of the best strikers in Serie A. And same thing with Lorenzo Insigne. So with those two always being there, focusing and getting the observation or the attention, that brings in, the opportunity for Chiesa to cause havoc. Chiesa is great as an unsettler, essentially. Like, for example, I don't think Chiesa can be the main man of a roster. I think he's really good at unsettling and causing havoc when the main man is being occupied.
CR7 didn't miss chances like Dusan. No, he didn't.
No,
That's
he did
why, we just had a whole bunch of other issues, like defensive issues that season.
And also, to add to Dash's point right now, I think part of it was as well that Napoli wasn't prepared to see Chiesa on their left side, so our right side. And maybe that was also a bit a part of it that they weren't prepared for that. I would give it another shot at some time and see if it's an actual thing or if it was just the effect of surprise, basically.
But that's again, if you're playing as a second striker and you're able to alternate, like if you're playing that second striker role properly, you can cause a lot of mess for defenses if Chiesa knew how to properly execute that role. But it's just he doesn't.
I like Vlad's comment here. You should play both on the left and right, aka a second striker.
If you would only do that.
Yeah,
Oh man, it's funny because it's true.
it is. And when you look at it from like even now when you're looking back at the game, it's just it wasn't like we got outclassed. Like it
Nope.
wasn't anything like that. It was just like holy hell, we just couldn't. That was one of those games where you just couldn't put it in the back of the net.
You just pulled out all the moves, you sweet talked her, you bought her drinks, but you just couldn't
You
bring her
creamed your
home.
pants before you took her home.
That's basically it. That sums it up more or less. You just made one stupid mistake. Like you said something stupid, like you asked her age or just something dumb like that, you know, and she just like looked at you and walked away. So what do you say?
Sorry about that. No, I didn't say anything.
No, Dave. I think German Dave said something.
No.
Cut
Oh,
out.
no. I was listening. I didn't say anything.
Okay. All right. Just some noise. All right. How hard is it to play successful games, changing different formations during one game? It can be hard. Depends on the IQ of the players and like changing things up all the time. It can be complicated.
And we overrate completely the meaning of formations. It is like you have to have in your mind that this is just a case of you need to know the spacing on the football field. It's not just you play a 4-3-3, have the setup as a 4-3-3. It never stays through the whole game. You move different offensively. You move differently defensively, and like a game is fluent, and everybody is just expecting a strict 4-3-3, but that's not how football works.
Yeah, you obviously you're gonna adjust as the call-in show. Do I have time to come in? KB, we'll let you. We'll wait for you.
We'll let you win. You're like that last minute customer, right? You're closing the store, you got everything put away, the cash is counted, and it's like, oh, I just gotta pick up something.
Okay, you know what I would do? I usually just say, hey, I gotta clean the floors, or I gotta close 15 minutes earlier because I gotta clean up the floors. It's some bullshit excuse. I've done so many of that, like in the past, back when I was like a teenager, just literally making up every little excuse I could.
Yeah, you're probably just getting stoned in the back room. That's what was going on.
You know what, bro? That's what I thought. I was like, I kind of had my pothead phase like 5 years ago. Now I don't smoke as much. Like I don't smoke at all. Actually, now I'm just kind of like
weed was something like mid 2000s, like early 2010s. That was just like apparently it was like the hottest shit since butter.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just like since the 60s. It's just
no.
Cool.
Like, so, like here's the thing, because
we're talking about
have some fun here. So like weed was good in like apparently allegedly.
Allegedly.
I gotta say allegedly.
I don't because it's legal here. So
it was popular in the 60s and 70s, and then cocaine took over in the 80s.
Oh, did it ever?
Yeah, cocaine took over in the 80s.
The 80s went hard.
And then the 90s were like just because I think it was like Reagan and Clinton were just like ridiculous on drugs. So like
it's depression. It was like more
heroin. Heroin was in the 90s.
Yeah, he got into the grunge scene and he just hated life.
Yeah, so you get into heroin in the 90s, and then like for example, the 2000s kind of people are just like, what's going on? So and then like from 2005 to like 2010 and 11 or maybe 12, everybody was just on the weed express. Like everyone was just like wild about weed, and now it's just like methamphetamines or fentanyl.
I guess Adderall. Yeah.
Dash's take on the drug scene. KB, get in here already. Change the subject. We're going to demonetize again. Fuck, talking about drugs.
I think we dropped too many F-bombs. We're screwed anyways.
No, we didn't do too many today.
Oh, we didn't curse more than the other times.
I only used one, so that's
No, I think we're good on that front today, honestly. Don't worry about that.
You know, the thing is, I find it funny because there's other channels that use the F-bomb or they use a lot of messed up things. Like, I think I remember it was at that Fresh and Fit podcast. They weren't even getting demonetized, and they were bringing like some of the most psychotic hosts like ever. Like, it was pretty bad, and I don't know how they didn't get demonetized. Like, it took them a while.
Well, you don't necessarily demonetize, but you won't make as much money off advertisements.
Yeah,
that's the kid with the dare shirt. Oh, he was Dash was the kid with the dare shirt. Oh man, that
was a fail.
That was a huge fail. That was what, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So can we talk? This comes from German Dave. Do you want to bring it up here about Romano?
Oh yeah, him getting busted.
Oh yeah,
it was Misak that said that, right? Misak was the one that like went on that rage on a video once.
Yeah,
Colin.
I remember that was like almost last year.
Oh, we should.
Where we thought he said aliens and not controlled by the Asians.
Yeah, we made
that one.
Asian.
We gotta find out which video that is for us, and we can clip it and claim prophecy on it.
It was like 10 years ago, or not 10 years ago. Feels like 10 years ago.
It was a year ago.
But yeah, you want to go into it, or do you want to save it for Wednesday, or do you want to tease it today?
No. Well, we're waiting for KB to show up, so I figure we'll talk about this if KB doesn't show up after this segment.
If you want to save it for Wednesday, I can do a bit more research.
No. I already. It's on the table. We're gonna trash talk. We're gonna fuck it. We're here. We're doing it. I mean, we can reassess on Wednesday. We can do some more homework, but we can just be like ignorant, reactionary assholes right now about it.
I'm definitely about that. I love it. I fucking love it. Oh, that's my second F-bomb. There it is.
We're dangling the carrot here for people that don't know, so I'll just read it out here. This was posted by Dave. Transfer journalist Fabrizio Romano is currently facing serious allegations as the Danish sports portal Tipsbladet reports Romano and a company associated with him are said to have offered coverage in exchange for money. The transfer guru and his team approached clubs and consultants and received payments in return for reporting on certain players. Teams should pay if Romano mentions them in his transfer news. Spox.com Germany.
Yeah, so it's basically Benfica going to Fabrizio, for example, asking him, "Hey, how can we jack up the price of Enzo Fernandez to 127 million euro?" And he says, "Yeah, just here a couple 100,000, and I'll do it."
Couple 1,000, big money.
That's almost like what 1/3 of a house.
I mean,
yeah.
That's racketeering. Honestly, that like he's at that price. How do you not say no? Like how? Yeah, I'll write an article. 200 grand, sure. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, but also that guy is just a gangster. Honestly,
is it because he's Italian?
Maybe a little bit part of it. But you know, he got big on Twitter. Then he made a YouTube channel out of it, monetized the YouTube channel. Then had his like deadline day on Twitch. I think it was like 10-hour coverage or something. And then Kick, that Twitch clone thing, went to him and offered him a couple millions on top to have the coverage on Kick. So that guy, man.
There it is. I think that's KB.
Yeah, instead of KB17, it's DV17.
Oh, KB was pissed about Dusan. Can we hear him?
KB? Damn it, you have your own YouTube channel. Get your audio together.
German Dave, proceed with your story.
You know, just I have respect for his hustle.
What is that? Who invited the child?
That's not mine.
That's why I couldn't get on there.
Dude, this kind of reminds me of the scene in The Hangover.
This is not an appropriate space for a child.
Jeff's like, that's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine.
Lucky for you, she doesn't understand English very well.
Okay, perfect. How you doing, bud?
Hey man, I'm doing good, guys. It's been a while since I've been on your show.
Yeah.
I think I do remember coming in when you guys were at 200 and I first discovered you guys and saying, man, y'all better join and go ahead and meet these guys before they blow up.
Yeah, now we're totally blown up. Totally.
And here we are.
No, well, thank you, of course.
As long as you're not blown out of proportion, that's you know.
Yeah, no, I was a little upset at the fact, you know, and I don't know if you guys share this with me or not, but when was it okay to go and play for a team like Juventus and just play so passively? You know, that hunger, or like what they will call it, the Fino la Fine spirit, right? What happened to that?
It
I don't know.
died. It died with the Ronaldo transfer. It's about that same time frame, right? Like that whole debacle. We kind of got too big for our britches.
It's almost like it's kind of ironic, right? Because it's like we turned into that like entitled rich kid.
Yep.
Yeah, but these are the problems. If you get a guy like Ronaldo, it covers up some of the tears you have in the system, because you have basically one player that is too big to fail, and if that player leaves, it leaves you with a broken system, broken management, and everything that we experience.
Vlad likes the surprise guest. He appreciates the little one. Just so you know. Sprint is there, but missing the legs. And JC, I think the kid is more hungry than Juve players. Yeah, maybe. Maybe the kid needs to be fed. That or he just shat himself. That's all kids do, right? Is eating shit.
Yeah.
Eat shit and sleep.
Well,
that's my kind of life.
No, I did wanted to comment on how Vlahovic was channeling his inner Ronaldo, but you know, it was everything minus the goals.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you know,
it's so
I'm gonna let him slide on this game. At least this game, I think he's been good for the past 2 months. I think he got unlucky with that stupid post that he hit, that he chipped the goalkeeper and hit the post. I'm gonna let this one slide, but he can't be doing this every big time games. No,
I was so angry with him. I think Dash will agree with me on this even. I haven't seen a game yet where he was better positioned, made better cuts than this game yesterday.
Yep.
And like he completely just like the finishing, which of course is the biggest part of a striker's arsenal. But like he showed me still the intangibles at least.
Yep. I was just looking at it. I'm like, oh my God, way to get open for that header. And then misses it. What the hell? And then it's just like, the chip too. I was just
the
like,
chip pissed me off. That gives me
that
gives
chip
me a lot of-
was actually incredible. Like you have to think the technique from that angle over the goalie and onto the post, unfortunately. But man, from
You
that
know
angle,
who
it was.
you know who did chip it in this weekend? Lorenzo Insigne.
I thought you were about to say Max
yeah.
Verstappen.
No, Lorenzo Insigne. Actually, Toronto FC has won an away match thanks to Lorenzo Insigne. It's been like a year since they've done that. So, who better? I mean, it's got the cultural connection still, right? So, figure throw it in there. MLS is still trash. TFC is just as trash. So, moving on. Oh yeah, it's Suarez. Suarez scoring for Miami. It's a big deal because
Messi like walk the ball in the net or something like that too.
nobody. It's a sideshow at this point. Nobody
It's-
cares.
Wait, is MLS started? I thought they don't
Yeah.
start till late March.
They're in preseason stuff. No, it doesn't. Nothing matters. USA Canada Women's Gold Cup. That's happening Wednesday. That's exciting.
I hope
Because
the U.S. lose.
I do too.
I
actually.
don't care. I don't give a shit what happens.
I do. Juliet Grosso's on that team. Fuck.
That is true. Maybe I will go for Canada. You know what? I will go for Canada now. Yeah, you're right. I should just do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's
Maybe I'll just move into Canada and then like Dave can deport me afterwards.
No, we'll keep you. We keep
Okay.
we keep everyone. Yeah, we can't make our own babies, so we take immigrants.
Yo, hold on. Frankie said Messi hit a baby in the crowd with his free kick. Yo, parents are trying to collect that check. That's what's going on.
I didn't hear that. That didn't make the mainstream news. That's funny.
You gotta protect that man at all costs. So it
You know, I hate
gonna make it to the headlines.
Messi has this habit of kicking the ball towards the fans. I remember a while back, like 10 years ago, in a classical game where he kicked the ball in front of some Real Madrid fans, which I enjoyed personally, but still.
Yeah,
but he was still portrayed as this saint of
no, he's not a saint. He's just a saint when he's on the field. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. The media portrays Messi as the messiah of the football world. So you can't do no wrong.
I'm not gonna say it. No.
I heard his saint name was Saint Douchebag.
Oh, Frankie, here, I'll try to pull it up. Actually, he posted it in the Discord. We didn't do any of the advertising today. What's wrong with us? Okay, so first, guys, I am so bad. You had to hit this QR code right in front of Jeff's face. I had to make it nice and big for you guys. Yeah, move out of the way there. Just scan that. That gets into the Discord where we have all the fun shit. So I'll share the screen. Make that big. All right.
Well, that's kind of anticlimactic.
I thought she was gonna get hit in the face or something.
Yeah, I thought she was getting smoked.
That's not.
Did it actually hit the kid? Like, it just looks like it started.
You know what though? You know the kid will like grow up and just be like, "Yeah, I got hit by one of them."
Oh, you know what it did? It hit the wall and just fell on her.
No, yeah, whatever. Nobody cares.
Oh, that was blue balls as hell, Frankie.
Yeah, come on, Frank.
At least she'll be famous. You know, she'll be known for something. Yeah, I got hit by one of Messi's balls.
Oh, speaking of blue balls,
you're so dumb.
So speaking of blue balls, the blue cards are no longer going to be coming. That whole idea is axed. No more blue cards.
Who would have thought? The thought police will even invade the soccer world too. So,
good God, please don't. No more rule changes. Just keep it.
You got to change all the rules at once and just have mayhem.
At least fine. If we're gonna do one rule change, it has to be in the VAR and it has to be with the offside rules. That's it.
Sure.
Maybe that rule sucks. And maybe some revisions within the VAR rule. Because
I'm okay with the testing stuff in the lower leagues, though. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just give it a go, sure. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like this blue card thing, sure. Didn't work out. Let's move on. Who cares?
I think I personally, if there's any revisions in the rules for the VAR, I would personally take the audio to be broadcasted in real life.
Yeah,
because you know exactly what they're saying, and there's no room for any shenanigans, So. That would be my own take.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
They'll probably get like a cash app from De Laurentiis, one of the refs gets like a nice little cash app or like a nice check by him. So
cash app?
Cash app, yeah.
Like Visa Cash App Racing Bulls, like that F1 team that can't name themselves?
Yeah, something like that. It's an app. It's just fun money, yeah. Kind of like what some of the Instagram girls put on their accounts, like on their Instagram bio. Yeah.
What is this called? Because how about AI in the war room?
VAR room.
Oh, AI in the war. Okay, in the bar room. Sorry, those are completely different places. How about AI? I mean, it does all right for my thumbnail, so I'm on board. Let's do it. Let's go. AI. Full send. It's taking over anyways. You might as well just submit.
Bend over and take.
Hey, some of those thumbnails you guys have been creating they've been pretty good.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I try to have some fun. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I actually, it actually takes me longer to find one that I liked with like finding the right search screen, but I just enjoy seeing what comes up. It's fun. It's a fun like 15 minutes of my life every couple of days. It's just talking to my AI. Oh man, this is what the world has descended into.
It's only going to get worse.
Oh, for sure.
I give up on the whole thought of it getting better. Like I'm going to get old, grumpy, and you're
already there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm not as grumpy, but yeah.
Someone's Neapolitano grandma put a hex on eBay and they haven't won in the San Paulo yet this decade. The decade's young. And somebody left. Bike drop. They're done. Somebody's door closed. I do think though, on that note, I don't know. Did we get what we need to offer chest, or does somebody have more?
I had plenty more, but no.
Blow it off.
It's just it doesn't really. I was just gonna say how bad. I was just mad with Vlahovic on the fact that two of the chances that he took were they were tough shots, but the open header and then that mistake, I will not be able to let that one go because that would have gotten us leveled.
Mm-hmm.
That turnover, like we won the turnover, all you had to do was just put it on target, and it's just absolutely wide. And I was just like, "You got to be kidding me!"
And what makes it worse is it was with his preferred foot, like his natural foot, and he still missed that.
Dave made it back from your walk.
Yeah.
Excellent, welcome back. I feel, KB, do you have a notebook that you just like record all your like everything you hate, like a dear journal? This is what Dusan did to me today.
I carry a one of those personal pads, the small ones, in my pocket.
Yeah,
I just write down whatever.
I figured as much because you started off this way and like, does anybody have anybody else? It's like, yeah, I'm actually on point number 3 right now, and you just like continued on with how you hate Dusan.
Well, I think I don't know, man. It's for Dusan. It's really weird. I never got into the hype that a lot of people were propping him to be, and sadly, same with other players that I will not name.
Chiesa.
Sorry, Frankie, but
got to, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I think it'll be a while before we see another dominating Juve. So at this point, Jeff. So if you're gonna grow old and grumpy, I think Juventus is gonna, contribute to that massively. So
yeah, I think
my headache is being contributed to yesterday's game. If that's what you want to know, yeah, migraine. That was just, I don't know what the hell did I witness. I think I'd rather have popped out my eyes out of the socket and not watch the freaking game. Like that was just cringe.
But now it's Monday.
Yes.
Sorry, KB, you had something?
No, that's it, guys. I'm actually gonna head out so you guys can continue without any distractions because I gotta go babysit.
Yeah, I gotta go. I mean, we all gotta. Hey, yeah's here. Boo! He's saying boo.
Guess how we feel about your booze. There we go.
And then we just discredit everything with WWE nonsense because it's not a real sport, but you guys all love it. So
it is professional wrestling, Dave. The Rock called it professional wrestling on social media. It is professional wrestling now.
And professional wrestling is cool again.
It is cool again. And Cody Rhodes, fuck your story.
Oh man. Well, I think unless anybody has anything, shall I roll?
All I'm gonna say is professional wrestling with the most unprofessional chairman.
He's not there anymore, and ironically, with him not being there, the product's gotten significantly better.
I got a billion jokes to say, but I don't want to get this channel taken down. So.
Put it in the Discord.
I think Discord will work. Yeah.
Yeah, there's safe spaces there.
German Dave, you gonna watch Raw? Or are you gonna watch the replay tomorrow morning? Because it's like already 4 a.m.
Oh, I will today, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see.
I slept a bit after work earlier. I watch Raw, go to the gym at 5 or 6, and then back to work.
You guys are nuts.
I think later down the road, I think you and I need to have a talk of doing like a Raw SmackDown recap stream where you and I just talk.
I've been telling you guys, we're a sports channel now. Go do your sports thing.
All right. But if we're gonna talk about this, okay, which game was your favorite for the WWE, like the SmackDown versus Raw series?
2006.
Oh yeah, I know. I agree with you. I remember that on the
SmackDown versus Raw 2006 for the PlayStation 2. Hands down was my favorite back then.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was fire.
So Vlad brings up a good question. If anyone watched AEW Revolution, Darby flew through like fucking 15 feet and smashed through glass, which was like wild.
Dude, I'm actually scared about that guy's health, honestly. Wow.
Like I don't know. Like here's the thing with AEW, right? So like Tony Khan is really good at pay-per-views. Like I think that's what I've noticed. Like AEW pay-per-views are ridiculously good. Their shows and their story writing are just garbage. Because there's no
logic like old school WWF kind of style.
Where it's like WWE, their shows are good, their build-up is good, but sometimes you just run into a pay-per-view where you're just kind of like, why the fuck did I watch this? And that's how we felt about Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, how much did that cost?
It was free. It was on Peacock.
Okay, good. Because
no, they don't do the pay-per-views anymore. I think it's just streamed, right?
Yeah, it's on Peacock. If you have Peacock, you just pay $5 a month and you can watch it.
Okay, I got it.
But like, because like for example, German Dave, if you pay like 40-50 euros for Elimination Chamber, you'd be pissed.
I would be pissed, definitely. I would pirate the shit out of that.
Oh man. Yeah, like that's ridiculous.
Like I don't know, like that was nuts. I mean, here's the thing that I didn't expect, and this is just kind of briefly touching on it. I didn't expect Sting and Darby to win the titles or to retain. I thought they would have dropped them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, how is AEW like? Because when you're talking about like dropping down from tables and stairs and shit, it reminds me a lot of ECW.
German Dave, did you put that clip in the
of Darby? Yeah, I posted it, I think. But I don't know if in BS or in the WWE.
I got it. So here, I'll share it for you guys here. Like this was the stunt they did, and it was just fucking nuts.
Bro, that's some ECW shit right there. What is that?
Yeah, like AEW does like a lot of crazy shit like that. Like they are like late 90s ECW.
Yeah, they rely heavily on that blood. But the thing is, they don't know they don't have the capability yet, at least with the depth of the talent and with the wrestlers that can work on the mic, etc. So they have to rely on making the matches as brutal as possible.
Yeah, because they don't write promos. They just have the wrestlers go out and talk.
If you can't get good, get hurt. That's it.
For example, when Jay turned on Roman and gave him that super kick, dude, AEW would have let Jay murder Roman because it wouldn't have the same effect of just one kick, because WWE built it up so that kick can be that effective.
Well, yeah, and that's why the difference with AEW and WWE is like WWE has everything written. Like the creative team and the script writers write everything from the promos to even the social media stuff. Because, like, for example, The Rock cut a 21-minute promo on Instagram.
And that is part of the damn story now.
Yeah, and it's part of the story. And like WWE breaks the fourth wall with social media now, where like the wrestlers know that, like, hey, look, because like Drew McIntyre plays his character on Twitter. Like he's doing it there. And it's just like now, and I think where The Rock really, and I think, in my opinion, I think The Rock fixed a lot of the logic gaps that we had with Cody winning the Rumble and not doing it with that 21-minute promo. So now, like, the story makes sense, and like,
at least even the potholes are closed.
Yeah, and at least now, like, for example, at first I was kind of like, I about the tag team match before like the whole bloodline rules and the stipulations. But now that there's like actual stipulations to this tag match, it makes it really fucking enticing.
Yeah. I think this looks like they are, or they try to make it like Avengers Endgame, basically, where they take everybody and their mothers to fight the Bloodline because they became that big of an institution now.
Yeah, I'm very positive that I think The Rock and Roman win the tag match, and
Yeah,
then Roman loses the singles match.
yeah, I
And
agree.
and The Rock kind of gives him the "What the fuck? I won. How did you not win?"
Dude, that Roman demanded The Rock to acknowledge him. That was incredible.
That was crazy. That was
Dude,
crazy.
how they did that, the suspense, how The Rock just took a second to think about it, how he took his sunglasses off. It was just incredible acting.
Yeah, and like for example, if you I don't know if he did this on purpose, but if you notice like Roman's voice is like I need you to acknowledge me.
They did that on purpose. You know why? Do you remember when it was Roman alone, when he demanded 3 times the crowd to acknowledge him and he just got booed, and how he got pissed off because of that? They they really try to go into that part that we talked in Discord already, that they try to little bro Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
and he's fighting for his authority now. And now we will have, at least till the Rock turns on him, Roman that is full of confidence again. And this is what he needed. This is what the Bloodline need to be, that anti-villain fraction.
Yeah, and it makes it like, for example, it gives Roman the proper way to become a face again.
Yeah.
Because like when Sami Zayn was with the Bloodline almost seemed like a face in a sense.
Yeah.
Like Sammy essentially pulled like what R-Truth did with the Judgment Day, where
Yeah.
he kind of like put them in the middle. Because like when the Bloodline was coming out with Sammy, they were getting cheered back then.
Yeah, the full heel turn happened with the Tribal Court segment when they tried to murder him.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see it, because like then a face Roman Reigns versus a heel Rock. I don't know, maybe that could be it, but they're obviously going to build up Roman Rock for 41.
That'll be hard to make the Rock a heel though. That's like, I don't know.
He is a heel. He's the biggest heel right now, honestly.
Is he?
He was hilarious. Oh
He
my
is
god, Jeff!
incredible.
He roasted Phoenix. So like Phoenix was booing him, and he's like, "Are you really sure you want to boo The Rock?" And then he opens up, and it was just like this amazing give and take where he's like, Phoenix is one of the #1 cities in America. And everyone's, the crowd's
for crack
cheering.
and meth abuse.
Yeah, he's like, for crack and meth abuse. Yeah, cactus crackheads.
Bro, I'll be honest though, like, okay, one of the best, so like my top 5 when it comes on the mic, like it's probably Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. Triple H during DX was pretty good
CM
too.
Punk. Punk is incredible on the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, and also him. I can't forget about him. But like,
I think of this generation, Punk is the best on the mic.
Yeah. The Rock was trying to not break character, because like when he was thinking of Meth Head Marys, he was laughing before he dropped the line. He's like, we got some cactus crackheads, and then we got some. He starts laughing, Meth Head Marys. The best part was like how he started cooking Solo. I thought it was hilarious. Like he was just like, "You guys want to see Solo sing the national anthem?" I know he's got a dapper and electuous voice, but the other thing too, that if you haven't seen the video on Instagram or X, like The Rock clowned Seth Rollins, and it was actually really funny, because he's like, "You think Netflix came because of you?" He's like, "Seriously?" The only thing that would have made it funny is if they made fun of like Seth Rollins by saying that he dresses in Becky Lynch's clothing.
Well, I don't know what the fuck any of you guys are talking about.
The WWE YouTube channel put the whole segment of the Bloodline. They uploaded that on YouTube. You can watch that, and honestly, that will get you back to wrestling.
You guys sound like those, like the lore of 40,000 or like 4K Warhammer or whatever, like the lore of Lord of the Rings. It's just like all make believe, man.
We can go into Lord of the Rings
too. So it's I think about that. Everybody's got to have a make believe. So everybody's got to believe in a fake character. Kids believe in Santa Claus. Adults believe in Christ. And then,
and I believe in Cody finishing a story.
And some people believe in the WWE. And
it's about the same. Jesus and wrestling.
I believe in Son Goku. There you go.
It's the funny thing about it. The wrestling naysayers are like, that stuff is fake. Yes, we know it's fake. It's live acting TV. We're listening for the
live action role playing.
I'm gonna be honest.
It is not. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say this is not supposed to be a sport. This is like a series of endless like episodes that you are watching that is supposed to touch you, give you feelings, and yeah.
It's Young and the Restless for dudes is what it is.
I mean, I used to remember as a kid watching Stone Cold Steve Austin beat the living daylights out of Vince McMahon in the hospital. Like, it was so iconic.
I did watch it back then.
Randy Orton RKOing women randomly.
Was it Stacy Keibler? I remember that one.
That was hilarious.
That was great.
But because back then, could you imagine you're watching The Rock versus Triple H, and then out of nowhere, just coming out like this with a steel chair, just shaking his head and just yelling shit.
Just drinking a beer too while at it.
See, Chiro's saying footy's all fake too. It's all staged. I mean, can you make up the shit? Things like De Laurentiis say? That can't be staged.
Dude, De Laurentiis, I could imagine De Laurentiis in WWE with the mic.
Yeah.
De Laurentiis as the manager of Santino Marella.
Or Lavina and Sheffrin and all those dummies. And what's his ass? And what's his ass there from Madrid?
I think of ADL.
Florentino
Perez, yeah. All those bastards.
I call him the hater, Benzino. That's what I think of him as.
Poor Vlad. George R.R. will never get to finish his books if he continues to live like this.
He's too fat to finish. He can't. No, he's done. He couldn't even finish the show properly. They brought him on to finish the show, and the end of the show was just like, I don't know what happened. Nobody know what happened. It just finished. It was crap. And everyone forgot that it even existed.
You know what's funny about this comment that JC gave us? The Rock was the Tooth Fairy. The Rock.
Yeah, he was.
The Rock didn't become The Rock until he did Fast 5. Because if you looked at all the roles before The Rock did the Fast and the Furious, he was just really weird. It was like a tooth fairy. It was like a babysitter. It was stuff like that.
Those were his best moments.
They brought him in for Fast 5, and they're like, all right, Rock, just play The Rock. And then everyone's like, oh my gosh, this works.
But do you know why? Because everybody goddamn hates that much Vin Diesel.
That's true.
Honestly, I have never seen a worse actor being that famous, that rich, and that influential. The Rock is the second one after that, but Vin Diesel is that much more unlikable.
I think Vin Diesel was carried by Paul Walker.
Maybe.
I think Vin Diesel was carried by
Paul
Walker.
And what's her nuts? The hot one in the early days?
Yeah, because if you look at any movie that Vin Diesel did outside of Fast and Furious, they were terrible.
Yeah.
X, was that what it was called?
Triple X.
Triple X.
And Riddick.
What was also shit.
Man, you can't make fun of family, bro. Come on.
You talk about his blood.
God, it's funny.
My blood.
Yeah, The Rock's character in WWE sounds like
it's Vin Diesel. It's the Vin Diesel character, yeah.
Roman Reigns, my family. I acknowledge you as my tribal chief.
Maybe that's where he got his creative intuition.
He's like, I became the guy that I hated.
Family.
Can't beat him. Join him.
Vin Diesel still has to explain to me how family is everything for him, but he has that many secrets, had a hidden brother and everything.
Dude, you know what's stronger than One Punch Man? Van Diesel on that Chevelle. When he hits that Chevelle, when he hits that muscle car, anything's possible. He could overcome anything, even a Kamehameha.
Yeah,
Okay, guys, you know what's embarrassing? This is how we know we've gotten
a
embarrassing.
rock and plank.
There's as many people watching us as there are talking.
So what you're saying is time to go home and
Time to go.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
but we're family.
You guys, I am gonna have to kill it on you. I mean, let's do
Fair enough.
specific WWE stuff, of course, but I think people are like, what's going on? I mean,
I'd be down.
yeah, let's do it. Why not? And I can be
Let's
that
sign
asshole in the
off.
corner.
We were gonna sign off earlier. We just got into this segue.
Nicolas Cage was an astronaut. He was also an archaeologist and a drugs. What's it called? War arms.
I heard Carr was a porn star too. So
I bet. He's a sexy feller. All right, guys.
all right, hit the
Enough
music.
shenanigans. Ridiculous.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to The World is on Fire stream, brought to you by kerosene, benzene, and gasoline. And if you like that, just like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on Wednesday for the Tinfoil Hat Show. And the Tinfoil Hat Show will be open for Formula One, Juve, and some other stuff as well. But we'll try to
All
keep
of
it
it.
more Juve focused
yeah.
and recap Formula One. Even though, it's kind of hard to really cover Formula One when nothing but Max Verstappen winning happens. But it is what it is.
Whatever. You don't even know. You and F1 is like me and wrestling. You don't know, man.
I should just be a Max Verstappen fan just to spite you. Just watch Red Bull.
Just be a simp. But that's why we have Dave. Dave knows everything. German Dave, I don't know. You
Hell
watch
yeah.
it all. All right, guys. We're still waffling. We still can't kill this stream. That's it. Crank the music. We're out. Thanks for joining.